There are several places in Brunswick County just like this. Hundreds of acres of land ready for economic development that could bring hundreds or even thousands of jobs to the area. But why are they still vacant? Randy, we are in the Carolina Shores neighborhood. The rain is coming down pretty hard. Standing water on the sides of the road, on the road. We're going to pan over and show you a look at the road going into this neighborhood. Cars are passing on it, but there is a lot of standing water. Daniel, we are at the command center at Highway 211 and Clemens Road. About 15 minutes ago, you could see some of the smoke behind us, but it has cleared up at this point. We have gotten an update from the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office within the last 30 minutes about road closures. So listen up if you do plan on traveling in the area anytime soon. Daniel, it's been a close race tonight for two of the candidates fighting for an open seat, but at this point it does look like the two incumbents, Margaret Haynes and Neil Anderson, will hold their seats. It didn't take the state long to sum up their closing statements this morning, but it took the defense the rest of the afternoon several hours arguing Vassie's defense. Kenzie, we are driving south on Highway 17 near Shallotte. We've been driving significantly underneath the speed limit because of the amount of water on the roads. Several areas are still experiencing flooding. Mackenzie, King's Beach Store is right next to Johnny Mercer's fishing pier. The fire is completely contained at this point, but as you can see behind me, there is still some smoke in the area. Randy, New Hanover and Brunswick County Dispatch say things have been pretty quiet overnight, but there are still several areas that are experiencing flooding. Here in Brunswick County, 133 is still closed from Funston Road to Orton Plantation. Mackenzie, as Scott mentioned, no matter what happens with this storm, there are going to be dangerous rip currents and dangerous conditions. Let's take a look at the conditions out at Curie Beach right now. Town leaders are also paying close attention to the possibility of strong winds. Even if the track shifts east, we will still see erosion and rip currents throughout the area. Randy, we are on Main Street in Sunset Beach. The rain is coming down, the wind, we can feel it. Mackenzie, this boardwalk holds more than a century of memories. For one couple, their story started on the old boardwalk 23 years ago, but today they wanted to break in the new boardwalk with one of their favorite memories. For decades, Reddix has been a one-stop shop in Wrightsville Beach for anything from t-shirts to fishing equipment, but soon Reddix will be a one-stop shop for downtown Wilmington. A lot of you have been talking about sharks for a few weeks now, but we wanted to talk to a shark that you've been talking to on Twitter. That's right, we talked to Mary Lee. Now, her account holder wanted to remain anonymous, but we got a full dose of her snarky personality. And you might see Sable flying even when they're not on a call. From the jewelry to the tuxedo, to the flowers, to the pictures. As soon as several Wilmington businesses saw Trevor and Lily's promposal video, they decided to pull together to turn their prom night into a special night they'll never forget. Mackenzie, yesterday the president gave an emotional speech as he proposed ramping up gun control to combat decades of violence in our country. While some don't agree with this measure, others say it's the first step toward a solution.
Well, I didn't bring a gun because no one told me to bring one.
Wrightsville Beach resident Jazz Undy never thought he'd be the victim of gun violence. But that's before he tried to help a woman who was robbed 3 years ago.
I didn't know at the time they had been robbed at gunpoint.
That's why he says he ran after the two men and threatened to call police.
And the guy pulled a gun and he hit me and shot me right here as he ran by. So
that's just one of the reasons Undy wants more gun control.
It's a constitutional right to bear arms. I understand that. But I do think there are way too many guns on the streets.
Gun violence created one of the most emotional speeches for President Obama as he discussed his executive order to ramp up mental health care and add hundreds of FBI and ATF agents to better enforce current laws and focus on background checks.
From first graders in Newtown, every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad.
I'm glad that he got emotional.
But not everyone agrees.
It's most concerning is that the president suggested to governors across the country send the mental health information, and we'll incorporate that into the database on the background check. That's a problem as it relates to the health care privacy laws.
For now, Republican Senator Richard Burr says the president's order is just a guidance and not a law.
Since I became a member of Congress, I've done everything to protect the Second Amendment rights of all Americans. And I'll continue to do that regardless of what this president's personal preferences are.
For Undy, the speech was personal, too. He doesn't know the solution to gun violence, but he says he's happy we're talking about it.
This isn't war. This is America, and we come up with solutions in America. And I want to see that dialogue going.
The executive actions the president ordered would all require millions in funding, and that must first be secured by Congress. Mackenzie? It'll only take a second for you to notice Trevor's confidence. I feel like he's peeing all the time.
Yes.
His humor.
Did you buy coffee?
His kind heart. And that's why Lily Wright knew he'd be the perfect prom date.
We always have fun together, and I know he's a really good dancer, so I just thought that we would have a lot of fun at prom.
What Lily didn't know, that her promposal would instantly go viral, inspiring Wilmington businesses to help.
All I did was ask him to prom, like, why is everybody, like, pampering over us?
Design a Dream events owner Jana Ingraham wanted it to be the prom night of their dreams.
Every place we went was a fun little adventure.
And every place they went, you could find Trevor doing what he does best.
I dance.
From lunch at Buffalo Wild Wings to pampering in Ida Lou Wedding's mobile suite. Pictures at Airlie Gardens, a tux fitting at Camille's, and a chauffeur for the day.
Oh, good.
Did we mention the dancing?
A huge fan of Chocolate Baby.
What song was it that Trevor really hit the moves with?
Baby.
By Justin Bieber.
Yep.
So when we asked Trevor about his favorite part of the night, you can probably guess his answer.
My best part is dance.
And Lily's wasn't much different.
Whenever they did the slow dance, I remember him just smiling at me and just really enjoying it.
A night they'll never forget.
Did you love it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yes. It's my favorite. He said, I love it.
I love it.
But what's the key to a perfect prom night? Lily says it could be picking the perfect date.
Don't be afraid to ask somebody different to prom. You may have an awesome time.
In New Hanover County, Hannah Patrick, WWAY News Channel 3.